Hi folks, my name is Casey. I use the pronoun she, her. I'm co-founder of Yoga Wild, and this is a Vinyasa sequence for coping with grief. If you're new to our channel, maybe take a moment to subscribe and know that you are supporting a small business and our team in Tacoma, Washington. A few days ago, the social distancing recommendations were extended through April. For many businesses in Washington, we had hoped to open our doors on April 6th, so that was a hard hit. Schools are closed. Graduation, birthdays, celebrations are canceled. No matter where you are, there is a collective loss and disappointment and grief. In today's practice, we will focus on grounding postures, forward folds, opportunities to just turn inward. This is a Vinyasa sequence. We consider it an effort 3, so that means challenging but no gymnastics. I do recommend a block or two and maybe even a blanket if you have one. Let's get started. A member of Team Yoga Wild, Sherry Larson, just taught a workshop, Yoga as Self-Care. And in it, she talked about how grief is stored in our lungs. And we did a breathing exercise in our belly that was really impactful for me. So that's where I'd like to begin. So come down to your belly. And as you do, extend your legs long behind you. You can pillow your forehead on your hands or fists, a block or a blanket. And this might not be the most comfortable position to start, but take a moment to just feel the compression of your breath against the ground. And in a moment, we will shift our attention to our inhale for about 5 breaths. After that, we will shift our attention to our exhale for about 5 breaths. Just take a couple more, just natural breaths here. Now, as you inhale, expand your belly, let it fill up with air. Notice your back body even rise, your sides expand. Exhale, soften, let it out. Again, inhale, big breath in. Let it out. And as you take a few more breaths here, just seeing how much space you can take up. Notice what happens when you fill up at the top of your inhale, and then feel that empty out and release as you exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more big breath. Really care about your inhale. Fill up as much as you can, and let it be. Now we will shift our attention to the exhale. Inhale, just normal breath in. This time as you exhale, draw your belly, your navel up and away from your mat. Inhale. Exhale, really active as you bring your belly up and in. A few more like that. Let your attention just be here on your breath, how your breath feels in your body. Last one, breathe in. Big, full, active breath out. Good. Go ahead and return to your normal breath and make your way to tabletop. So as you come to your hands and knees, feel free to move around a little bit. You can rock forward and back. Maybe even find some circles. Let your shoulders cross over your fingertips. Just seeing what it's like to have weight in your hands. And then as you find stillness, draw your low belly up and in. We'll take a few rounds of cow-cat here. Inhale. Let your chest come down toward your elbows and then through your upper arms as you lift the crown of your head. Exhale, cat pose. Draw your heart up and in as you round. 2 more like that. Inhale, lower your heart, send it through. Exhale, draw up and in. Inhale. Exhale. Return to tabletop, find your neutral spine. Inhale, open arm twist, lift your left hand high. So as you open arm twist, breathe here, maybe stack your wrists. Your gaze can be down, out, or up. Inhale. Exhale, thread the needle. Slide your left arm under your right, and then lower your forehead or your left temple down to your mat. Now your right hand can stay close to your face, or it could walk forward to the top of your mat. As you breathe here, if your forehead doesn't come all the way down, that's fine. It's another good place for a block. You can rest it down. We'll come out the same way we went in. Base your right hand in front of your face. Inhale, open arm twist. Exhale, tabletop. Other side. Inhale, reach your right hand high. Pause here and know that your hand could stay on your hips. Just twist from your chest and you can adjust your gaze. Inhale. Exhale, thread the needle. Lower your right shoulder down. Forehead or temple comes to your mat or a block and settle in. And I've had some interrupted sleep lately. Maybe you can relate. And I can really feel a tightness on one side compared to the other. So just start to notice how your body feels. And then make your way out. Press through your left hand. Inhale, reach your right hand up. Exhale, tabletop. And we'll take another round of cow-cat. Know that it can look just like the first round with knees grounded. Option to tuck your toes under and lift your knees away from your mat. And they're just hovering an inch or two away. From here, inhale, cow pose, drop your belly. Exhale, cat pose. And as you take a couple more rounds of breath, try to keep your knees still, hips still. We're not moving a lot in this transition. It's really active. You can lower your knees down at any time. Return to tabletop, either knees grounded or hover away. We're here for 3. Downward facing dog in 2. 1, press into your palms, lift your hips up and back, and settle in, downward facing dog. And your first time in a downward facing dog is such a great opportunity to really check in with how your body feels today. If you're feeling a little tight, maybe bring your feet wider, more toward the edges of your mat. Option 2, keep your feet closer together. Inhale, high plank, shift your weight forward. And you can adjust your stance, let your shoulders stack over your wrists. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. 2 more like that. Inhale, roll forward, a little cat spine, and then lengthen. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, high plank. This time, lower your knees to your mat. As you exhale, we'll lower chest and chin down. So you'll find a big arch in your back with your chest and chin down. Hug your elbows in. From here, inhale, cobra. A little slither as you lift your chest and breathe. Press through the tops of your feet. Anchor down in your hips. Inhale. Exhale, lower your forehead to your mat. With or without your knees, inhale, press back up, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your right heel high, 3-legged dog. And as you breathe here, let your knee and toes point down to your mat. Inhale, high plank. Option to keep your right foot lifted as you stack shoulders over wrists. Exhale, downward facing dog with your right heel high into the sky. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale. Inhale. This time, as you exhale, knees, chest, chin down, elbows hug in. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, high plank, with or without your knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left heel high, 3-legged dog. Breathe here as your knee and toes point down. Inhale, shift forward, high plank. Know that both feet can come down or knees, otherwise hover your left foot. Exhale, downward facing dog or 3-legged dog. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. One full breath here, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Child's pose, Balasana. Lower to your knees. And open your knees more toward the edges of your mat. Option to bring a block under your forehead. Feel your third eye grounded on your block or mat. Option to extend your arms long or keep your hands by your feet. Take a few breaths here. In the description box below this video, I've included an interview with David Kessler. He's written books on grief. In it, he talks about how our world has completely changed. There's a loss of normalcy, a fear of economic uncertainty. There's a loss of connection, and this is collective grief. However, he encourages that just by naming that sensation, grief, uncertainty, fear, anxiety, whatever it is, just by naming it gives you power. So take time, especially in these postures where you get to turn inward, to just notice how you feel. We'll meet downward facing dog. Scoop your hips up. Press into your palms evenly. Start to get active in your press in your hands. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, bend your knees. Step to the top of your mat. Forward fold. So for this forward fold, option to take a little wider stance. Your 10 toes point forward. You could bring a block or blocks under your mat for support. And maybe your hands stay on the blocks. Maybe they reach the ground. Maybe, even with a little wider stance or a bend in your knees, your head connects to your block. And if you live in a tight body today and that's not happening, that's fine. Don't force it. You can just enjoy a ragdoll and sway side to side. We're taking as much opportunity in our postures today to find support and grounding through our feet, our legs, our hands when they're there, props. Couple more breaths. Then we're going to take it slow to roll up to stand. So maybe bring your feet a little closer together. Keep a little bend in your knees. Tuck your chin to your chest. Root through your heels. Start to feel activity in your legs as you draw energy up from the earth. And eventually, we'll meet mountain pose, Tadasana. So for Tadasana, maybe choose a stance that's a little closer together or wider. Palms face forward and spiral your thumbs away from your body. Now draw your shoulder blades together to open your chest. Lengthen your neck. As you stand tall, feel rooted, feel stable, feel supported by the earth beneath you. Then press your palms together at your heart. Take a moment to maybe check in with how you feel. You could set an intention or you could just name that feeling. I'm feeling grief, or I'm feeling overwhelmed, or I'm feeling solitude, whatever it may be. Notice if there's any power just in naming it. Take a big breath in. Open mouth, exhale, send it out. One more big breath in. This time, seal your lips. Exhale through your nose. Keep that breath. Open your eyes. Inhale, reach your fingertips high. So as you continue to breathe in and out through your nose, Ujjayi Pranayama. Strong in your legs. If you keep a little bend, that's fine. Point your thumbs behind you or palms can come together. Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, get just a little taller. Exhale, forward fold. As you lower down, your hands could come through center or out wide. Hands may come to your blocks or your mat. Maybe keep a little bend in your knees. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Hands to blocks or shins or thighs. Just think long, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, stand tall, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to your heart, Samasthiti. We'll take that half Surya Namaskar A 2 more rounds, but we'll speed it up a bit. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand tall, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart. Back to your intention. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a few moments here. Notice what it feels like to start to move and move with your breath. In Kessler's interview, he talks about how emotions need motion. They can get stagnant and stuck in our bodies, and we start to feel it, really feel it. Naming it, having power in naming it, moving your body. Notice what that feels like. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, lift your chest, settle in, Utkatasana. So lots of options for chair pose. Maybe your fingertips reach up, biceps frame your ears, or just bring your hands to your heart. So don't let your arms distract you. We're really here to start to wake up the bigger muscles in your body. So heavy in your heels, feet could touch or have some space. Maybe even pick up your 10 toes and try to avoid just letting your quads do all the work. So really recruit your glutes as you engage your buttocks, sink just a little deeper. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot back. And as you step your left foot back, I like to have blocks frame my front foot. And you could take a little time to pulse and move. Maybe that means bend and straighten. And then lower your left knee down. We'll find a cow lunge and lots of options for that. Sink your hips down and forward. Draw your right hip back. Now start to lift your chest. Option to keep blocks nearby. Lift your chest. If you know you want a little bit more challenge for your legs, tuck your back toes under. Just like we did in tabletop, hover your back knee. Inhale. Exhale, cat lunge. Hands to blocks or your mat. Press into your palms as you straighten your front leg. And maybe keep a little bend. Try to avoid straining your hamstring. Draw your right hip back. If you live in a bendy body, it might serve you to flex your front foot, so peel your foot away from your mat. I don't really need that for my posture, but you might. Press through your left big toe. We'll pulse through that cow-cat lunge a couple more rounds with breath. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, round, fold in. Inhale. Exhale. This time, inhale, high lunge. Bend your front knee, lift your chest. Hands can be at your hips, your heart, or extend your fingertips overhead. Now, I like to kind of bend my front knee, add a little pulse, some movement, and then you can start to work that back leg straight. Know that you could lower your back knee down and stay in a grounded lunge, and you're still in the posture. So find what works for you. Press in with your right heel. Inhale. Exhale, airplane arms, hinge forward, reach your fingertips back. So not a complete forward fold, but find your neutral spine, face your palms down, spiral your thumbs away, just like earlier when we were standing, sink into your front leg. Inhale, warrior two, spiral your left foot flat, open your chest, and settle in. So for Virabhadrasana 2, take a wide stance, bend into your right knee. If you live in a tight body, that front knee might want to roll in, so just spiral your inner thigh to the sky and be mindful of that. We're here for 3, Skandasana, you're going to bend your left knee in 2, 1. So as we move into a side lunge, option to stay a little bit more lifted. You could flex your toes up toward the ceiling, turn them to the left side of your mat. Know this will be a transition, so I invite you to keep the toes up. Maybe sink your left glute closer to your left heel. Hands can be on your mat or at your heart. Maybe your left heel is grounded. I need a few more rounds to warm up for that to happen for me. But again, find the shape that works for you. From here, inhale, pass through center, right toes point forward. Exhale, extended side angle. As you bend back into your right knee, right forearm is on your thigh or inside your leg. Now feel your chest twist open toward the left as you find length through your right side body. Left hand could reach up or extend toward the front of the room. For the last little bit, maybe even reach your right fingertips forward. Inhale. Exhale, lunge, frame your right foot, pick up your back heel. Just one round. Inhale, cow lunge. This time, exhale, forward fold. Option to pass through a standing split. You could kick your left heel high. Take a moment in a fold. That was a lot. Recoup here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back. Now take a long stride in that step. Land soft, and then take a little time to settle in so that pulse and move might feel good. Notice any imbalance in your body. Notice any discomfort. Then we'll set up for our cow-cat lunge. So sink your hips down and forward. Fingertips on blocks, your front thigh, or even start to lift your chest. You know you want a little extra effort for your legs. Hover your back knee. Press through your right big toe. Inhale. Exhale, cat lunge. Hands down as you straighten your front leg. Now, really try to avoid locking out your front knee. Keep a little bend. Press through your right big toe. Draw your left hip back. We'll pulse that. Inhale, cow lunge. Exhale, cat lunge. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, fold in. This time, inhale, high lunge. Bend your front knee. Lift your chest and settle in. So your hips and shoulders face the front of your mat. Firm as you press through your right big toe. Maybe keep a little bend in your back knee. That might allow some space in your low back. Or you could ground your right knee entirely. You choose. Find your shape. Inhale. Exhale, airplane arms. Hinge forward. So really active through your back foot. Again, it's not just your quads that are working. Open your chest. Feel the strength of your upper back. Inhale, warrior two. Spiral your right foot down. Settle in. Virabhadrasana 2. So again, it might feel nice to just pulse and move a little bit. Right toes point toward the right edge of your mat. So the side of your foot is parallel to the back of your mat. Let your left knee track in line with your toes. Arms wide. We're here for 3. Skandasana, side lunge in 2. 1, bend your right knee. So again, your mobility, range of motion, there's stuff going on in your knees and ankles. You can stay a little bit more lifted, flex your toes up or toes point down. Maybe hands come to blocks or even the ground. Maybe start to sink in. Your hands can be at your heart. Maybe drive your right heel into your mat. Inhale, pass through center. Exhale, extended side angle. Bend into your left knee. Open your chest. And as you open, your right hand can extend up. Any variation. Really don't let your arms distract you. Your legs are what are here doing the effort and the work. And then come back to your breath. If you're on your left forearm, keep that connection light. Try to avoid just collapsing in as you open your chest. Really active through your back leg. You can stay here. Or for the last little bit, extend your left hand forward. Inhale. Exhale, hands to your mat. Pick up your back heel. Inhale, cow lunge, lift your heart. Exhale, forward fold. Step your right foot up. Maybe pass through your standing splits. A few breaths here. Maybe ragdoll. Maybe ground your forehead or the top of your head to a block. Notice, again, what it feels like to move, to be in your body, to move with your breath. We will flow through that sun bee variation, 2 more rounds, breath to movement. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot back. Inhale, cow lunge, just 1 round. Exhale, cat lunge, fold. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. You ready? Exhale, side lunge. Give yourself time, hands at heart or lower down for support. Inhale, pass through center. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, maybe extend your right hand forward. Exhale, hands to your mat, lunge. Inhale, cow lunge. Exhale, forward fold. Take your time. Maybe add standing splits. Step your left foot down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back. Inhale, cow lunge. Exhale, cat lunge. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, Skandasana, side lunge. Inhale, pass through center. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, cover your left arm, maybe. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, cow lunge. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe kick your right heel high. Land down. Take a couple breaths here. Release in your fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot back. Inhale, cow lunge. Exhale, cat lunge. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, extended side angle. Rather, exhale, Skandasana. Inhale, pass through center. Now, exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, right hand extends out. Exhale, lunge. Inhale. Exhale, fold. However you get there, take a moment. 1 more side in our sun bee variation. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back. Inhale, cow lunge. Exhale, cat lunge. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, Skandasana. Inhale, pass through center. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, extend your left arm. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, cow lunge. Exhale, forward fold. Step your right foot up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Couple breaths here. You can sway your hips, shake it out. And just notice what it feels like energetically to fold, to turn in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot back. This time we'll set up for Paschimottanasana or pyramid posture. So I like blocks to frame my right foot. And your stance might be shorter than our lunge. Back foot is at an angle. And then fold over your right leg. As you fold over your right leg, draw your right hip back. And feel free to play with your stance. If you live in a bendy body, it may serve you to kind of walk hands back toward your left foot or on the outer edges of your mat. Press to the outer part of your right foot. Inhale, warrior one. Bend your front knee and maybe adjust your stance. I like to go just a little wider to shift up to warrior one. So different from high lunge when we were flowing, the back heel is lifted. For warrior one, your whole back foot is flat. And I really like a wider stance for Virabhadrasana 1 to feel good in my body. So feel free to make any adjustments that you need. From here, we'll transition to fallen tree, a variation of warrior 3. So you could keep hands on hips, you could bind, interlace your fingertips. Start to shift forward, almost like humble warrior. And as you do, press through your right heel, your left toes will come away from your mat. So in warrior 3, you keep your chest more parallel to your mat. For fallen tree, start to let the crown of your head come down, similar to what we were doing earlier in our forward folds. Now you could always bring your hands down, find some support. If you fall over, that's okay. Maybe just bring your hands to your heart. We're here for 3. Rounded lunge, soft landing in 2. 1, bend your right knee. Reach your left toes back. Take your time. Land your left knee down. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, half splits. Straighten your right leg. Flex your right toes to the sky. So I like blocks to frame my knee. Maybe your hands come down to the mat, and that's fine too. You could even bring your left glute closer to your left heel, and maybe this looks more like a seated forward fold variation, or your hips stay lifted. So find a point of sensation or stretch maybe on the back of your right leg, maybe even feel it more into your outer hip, but find sensation and breathe. Inhale, bend your right knee. Exhale, forward fold. Step your left foot up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back. We'll set up for Paschimottanasana pyramid on the second side. So both feet are grounded. Right toes are at an angle. I like a little wider stance in my body, so know that you can try that on. As you draw your left hip back, start to fold over your front leg. Allow yourself time, introspection to turn in. Emotions need motion. You've been moving your body. Notice any shifts or changes in how you feel. Inhale, warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Again, adjust your stance and then lift your chest. Hips and shoulders face the front of your mat just like earlier. And try to find length in your low back. From here, we'll transition fallen tree. So maybe find a clasp in your hands, hands at your heart or your hips. And take your time in this transition, lean forward like we did earlier in our flow, and then start to pick your right toes up. Eventually, you could stay in this warrior 3 or start to bring the crown of your head down as you lift your right foot up. And if you're practicing on carpet, you might feel less stable than usual. If you're practicing on this side, it can feel different from the other. And again, know you could always just bring your hands down or hands at your heart. We're here for 3. Grounded lunge, soft landing in 2. 1, bend your left knee. Take your time. Land your right toes, your right knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. Flex your left toes. Draw your left hip back. And as you breathe here, your left toes can flex up toward the ceiling or back toward your left shin. Draw your left hip back. Inhale, bend into your left knee. Exhale, forward fold. Big step up, maybe 2 or 3 with your right foot as you fold down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your hands high, stand up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Just a little more balancing. We'll play with tree pose, Vrikshasana, before we move to our mats. So balance on your right leg. Bend your left knee, open it to the side. And you can bring your foot anywhere on the inseam of your right leg, maybe even help it onto your inner thigh. Hands can be at hips, heart, or maybe extend up and out. Any variation. Active in your left glute to open your left knee. Draw your navel up and in, just like when we were standing, equal standing pose. Notice your breath. Bend a drishti or gazing point. Inhale. Exhale, lower your left foot down. Take a moment, equal standing pose, press both feet down, press your palms at heart center, other side. As you balance on your left leg, open your right knee and place your foot anywhere on the inseam of your left leg. And then you can engage your right glute, open your right knee, draw your navel up and in, and find a little press in your hand. A few more breaths here. Gaze can be down about 6 feet in front of your left toes. They can be at eye level or up. And again, you can play with any variation of your arms. Inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart. Lower your right foot down. Inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, have a seat, Sukhasana. So this is where a blanket might be nice. When we come to a seat, you could sit on a blanket, and sometimes a little added height can help because we will add some forward folding here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. And as you fold forward, maybe forearms come to your mat, and maybe even place your forehead to a block. And notice you could stay on the block, or rather you could stay on the blanket. Try to press your sit bones into the earth, into the ground, and breathe. We're spending a lot of time in folds, a lot of time to turn in and reflect. And sometimes when we're just in intense sensation or big feelings, that's what we need. We don't need to fix them or change them or make them go away. Just take a little time to be. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, extend your legs long, Dandasana. Just passing through here, draw your navel up and in. Hands can be outside your hips. Janu Shirshasana, forehead to knee pose. Bend your right knee. Place your foot on the inseam of your left leg. Now find just a little twist here so your chest is in line with your left toes. They're pointing up toward the ceiling. Start to add your fold. From here, a block might be nice. You could bring your forehead to a block, extend your legs long. Maybe there's a little bend in your knee and you want this to be more restorative. That's a nice option too. Two more breaths here. Lift your chest. We'll come back to Sukhasana. This time, left shin or whatever opposite shin is for you comes in front. Root through your sit bones. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. So especially if this feels like a less dominant leg is in front, that might be a little awkward at first. Maybe your range of motion is different. I really feel that on this side. And just like we note our experience, just noting physical sensation. It's not wrong. Doesn't make it a bad posture or a bad variation. Just notice. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, Dandasana, just passing through. Strong legs, navel up and in. And then bend your left knee. Janu Shirshasana, forehead to knee pose. Find that little twist in your chest. So as you fold down, Your heart center comes towards your right leg. You can bring your forehead to a block. Maybe you connect to your knee. Draw your right hip back. Few breaths here. Inhale, lift your chest. This time, exhale, send both legs long. We'll set up for a restorative Paschimottanasana or seated forward fold. So maybe have a little space between your feet. And you can have one block. Maybe your forehead comes down there gently, or even two. But just like we've done in a variety of postures, try to bring your third eye center, your forehead, to something stable. And we'll be here for about 5 breaths, so you might notice a shift. Maybe you start in one variation, but just by releasing to gravity, you slowly start to go further. And we're not forcing this posture. We're not making anything happen. Just breathe here. A couple more big, slow breaths. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, make your way onto your back. We'll do just a little bit of twisting. Try to neutralize our spine, offer any release, and then we'll make our way to Shavasana. So maybe keep your knees bent. Arms can be wide or like a goalpost, and find just a little rock or sway side to side. The next time both of your knees point to your right, pause there. And you could stay here. You could bring your right ankle to your left thigh, twisted root. That's a personal favorite of mine. And with just a gentle press, you might feel more sensation outside your left hip. With both feet grounded, inhale, lift your knees up. Exhale, return to that side to side windshield wiper. Next time your knees point to your left, stay there. Find your variation of a twist on this side. You could turn your chin towards your right shoulder, twisted root, or any other variation. I just encourage you maybe to keep it gentle. We're not forcing a twist here. Then with both feet grounded, point your knees up. We will shift into Shavasana, and I'll hold space for a couple of minutes, and I invite you, you've made it this far, please stay with it. For this variation today, maybe bring a blanket over your chest. So just like our forward folds gave us an opportunity to turn in, care for ourselves, Shavasana can be a vulnerable position or posture to be in. So having a little extra cover or weight over the chest and heart might work for you. If you're feeling any kind of discomfort in your low back, keep your knees bent, let your knees knock together. Otherwise, extend your legs long. Take a little time here in corpse pose, your final meditation, to just pay attention. There will be distractions, and that could be an actual sound in your space or mine. That could be a sound in your head, a worry, fear. Anytime you get distracted, return to your breath. Be aware as you inhale. Be aware as you exhale. And really, that's it. That's your yoga practice. When you get pulled away from the present moment, come back to your breath. Be aware of your inhale. Be aware of your exhale. Know that you can stay here. If you are ready to be guided out, slowly begin to add movement. You can wiggle fingers and toes. Option to full body stretch. Reach your hands overhead. Then exhale, roll to whatever side body is calling your name. And as you take time to transition, take a moment to note or name how you feel. And it could be the same as when we started our class. It could be really different. And it's not good or bad, just notice. Is there any power in naming how you feel now? We'll meet in a comfortable seat. I invite you to keep your eyes closed or your gaze soft and down. Bring your palms together at heart center. Anjali Mudra. Remember, it's the choices you make that define who you are far more than your abilities. Thank you for choosing to practice your yoga. Lift your thumbs to the center of your forehead, your third eye. And we will close with one final collective breath. Inhale. Exhale. Thank you so much, folks. Again, my name is Casey, and this is a Vinyasa sequence for coping with grief. Check out the interview I was talking about in the description below. I am a contact wearer, and one of our team members, Alison Old-Kerr, is a local naturopath. She suggested maybe just staying in glasses during this time, just one less reason to be touching your face throughout the day. And she has a whole series of chats on little accessible care or wellness tips that you can do during this time to stay healthy. So please check those out and see you again soon.